But here we go, guys. Let's begin. It calms me to look at her. It's just though as I've been reunited with a part of me I never knew was missing. Hardly surprising. You did design and build her. I bear good news! The Seed Seers have granted our request to house the Enterprise. We may take as long as we require to repair her. Of course, it would be rank folly to take one moment more than we require. Garuda, lest we forget, grows stronger by the hour. If we are to have any hope of wresting this benighted realm from our talons, it must needs be soon. Though I am no expert on the workings of airships, it seems plain to me that the Enterprise suffered much from her time in the wilderness. Am I not correct, Sid? You are. Frankly, it's a miracle she carried us this far. As you know, the Howling Eye is encircled by a raging tempest, apt to turn proud trees to matchwood. Our battle will end before it begins if the Enterprise cannot weather the storm. Given time, I believe I can fully repair her. But if this tempest is as fearsome as you say, even that may not be enough. Confound it. There must be a way. A way to brave the fury of the elements. The elements? But of course, that's it. We work upon the element itself. Using the power of a corrupted crystal, we could clear a path through the storm and spare the Enterprise a battering. I see. You propose to utilize the properties of a crystal to alter the elemental aspect of the barrier. It seems so childishly simple in retrospect. Though mayhap not to you, Enio. We speak of the manifestations of over-aspected aether that can be found throughout Eorzea. Since the calamity disrupted the land's etheric currents, such crystals have become comparatively commonplace, which has been a cause of great woe, as they are known to warp etheric energies, including those of living organisms. The point is, we could theoretically use a corrupted crystal to convert the wind-aspected aether, comprising Garuda's barrier, into aether of another aspect, one she cannot control. With certain modifications, the Enterprise should be able to deliver us to the Howling Eye in comfort, however hard Garuda blows. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. All of this rests upon our ability to procure a crystal with the necessary properties. Have you any idea where we might acquire one? No, but I know a man who might. A scholar by the name of Lambertine, who resides in Camp Drybone. Strange as it may sound, I met him during my time at the church. Well, Marquise met him, I suppose. Without a pity, or for want of a more willing listener, he would talk to me for hours at a time about his etheric studies, corrupted crystals being his pet subject. It was as a result of these conversations that poor Marquise was observed to possess an uncommon knack for theoretical science. Enio, I need you to return to Tanaland and seek out this scholar. Sid and I will set about repairing the Enterprise in your absence. Why yes, I am Professor Lambertine. Beg pardon? You wish to hear about my research on corrupted crystals? Truly. Well, nothing would give me greater pleasure than to discuss my work with a fellow man of science. I thought they were gonna say a man of culture, but that would have been too easy. Ah, so rare it is to find fellow intellectuals in this region. It's even rarer to find one capable of comprehending the nature of corrupted crystals. Come to think of it, there was a hermit to whom the church had given sanctuary. Curious fellow, unsociable, rather daft at first impression, yet possessed of an amazing affinity towards the scientific pursuits. But to the matter at hand, did you say you wish not to conduct field observations, but to harvest a corrupted crystal? Hey, gods, man, at least take the necessary precautions so that you do not suffer from exposure to its harmful energies. I'm beginning to wonder if you have sufficient qualifications to handle such hazardous materials. Still, your ignorance is somehow endearing. Luckily for you, I have precisely the means by which these inherent dangers may be averted. Simply store the crystal you seek within this warded pot to protect yourself from its deleterious effects. Though I suppose you will be bombarded with its energies until you place it within the vessel. Well, perhaps it shall motivate you to work quickly. In any case, take the pot to Hasoko, a student of mine monitoring the flow of Aether at Highbridge. Explain to him your quest, and he shall instruct you in the finer points of crystal harvesting. How many times must I be made to explain myself? I am not contemplating suicide, you imbecile. I have chosen this precise position to perform scientific measurements. What have we here? A containment vessel? Why, this is the handiwork of Professor Lambertine. You thieving knave, I shall call for the... Oh, you say the man himself lent it to you. Then you must have sought me out per his instruction, which means he believes me experienced enough to expound upon his explanations. At last, the recognition I so rightfully deserve. Oh, frabjous day, Kalu, Calais, that I should be chosen to guide this man. Yes, I, Hahasaku, greatest of Professor Lambertine's pupils, shall see that you successfully quarry your quarry. Your timing is impeccable, in fact, for I was just preparing to procure corrupted crystals from the burning wall for my personal research. There, the devastating destruction caused by the calamity has blessed us with a bounty of sublime specimens. But something tells me that not but a perfect peace will satisfy your high standards. In which case, you must needs descend to the deepest depths. Amidst the flowing waters and the murderous Mirrorites lies the most fantastic formation I have found thus far. Take this highly advanced researcher's tool and use it to separate a small fragment from the large cluster. Place it within the warded pot and bear it back to me for inspection. The path which leads from Burgundy Falls to the base of the burning wall is treacherous and terrifying, but advance with appropriate caution and you shall surely survive. I see you've come galumphing back. Have you the crystal then? What a prodigiously large and lovely crystal. Professor Lambertine will doubtless chortle with joy when you present to him in person. Oh, and upon your return, do remember to recount how I helped you with your harvesting. My keen scholar sense tells me that you obtained a corrupted crystal. Am I right? If you would grant me a moment to examine the crystal, Ah, it is as you desired. A corrupted crystal overflowing with wind-aspected aether. Remind me, for what purpose did you intend to use this crystal again? What? To breach a barrier comprised of wind-aspected aether? Oh dear. That may prove problematic, as this crystal would only serve to strengthen the barrier. I suppose I am at fault for not inquiring as to your objectives from the start. Had I known your intent, I would have never sent you to Hasako. But what is science if not trial and error? And can you truly say that this failure has taught you nothing? Think, man. You now understand the methods necessary to safely collect a corrupted crystal. You will doubtless have no difficulty doing so once more. What's more, the crystal you collected can serve as an invaluable resource for the aetherial studies conducted by the students of Baldesion. You've heard of them? Well, I don't mean to boast, but I have a professional relationship with the organization. Not as equals, of course. I would never be so bold as to claim that level of expertise. Are you all right? Your eyes seem to have glazed over for a moment. Anyway, I shan't keep you from your task. You have still a corrupted crystal to find. Corrupted crystals of sufficient size and strength are not all that common, I fear. Fortunately, one of my other students, Ceana, claims to have discovered another promising site in Eastern Lanosia. Wait, that's not correct. Eastern Lanosia was where she was nearly killed when wandering too close to an Imperial castrum. Now that made for an amusing anecdote. It was Western Lanosia, Pharaoh Sirius, on the Isles of Umbra, to be precise. I can't recall her exact reasoning. Something to do with one of Dalamud's talents or some such nonsense. What I can say for certain is that she is still in Alaport, attempting to gain access to the Isles. Why not travel there and see if Ceana's inquiries bear fruit? If you can look past the crass and violent ways of the local pirates, you might find your time there to be quite pleasurable. Oh, and do not forget to take your makeshift warded pot, lest she think you unprepared for the task. Corrupted crystals? Sir, I have no interest in being the butt of your jokes, so if you have no other reason for addressing me, kindly leave me be. I'll be damned! Professor Lambertine did send you. Beg your pardon, it seems we got off on the wrong foot. I'm Ceana, greatest of the professor's pupils, which is doubtless why he bid you seek me out. Indeed, I am an accomplished scholar with an extensive background in... Oh gods, just listen to me prattle on and on. I must have given this introduction a dozen times by now. As I told the professor in my many missives, I believe that the area surrounding Pharaoh Sirius is replete with corrupted crystals of exceptional strength. Unfortunately, I have yet to test my hypothesis, as all access to the Isles of Umbra is prohibited at present, for reasons unknown to me. You see, my attempts to acquire this information are often met with annoyance and disdain. It's rather puzzling, since I always take the time to explain my motivations in great detail to the subject of my questioning. Mayhap you will have better luck wresting information from these yellow jackets. I've all but given up at this point. You startled me. Don't you know better not to sneak up on a person at a time like this? But with all this fatuous gossip of spirits and specters hunting the Isles of Umbra, just because I know it's nonsense doesn't make it any less frightening. You're keen on traveling to the Isles of Umbra? Bloody hells, lad. Are you drunk or just crazy? Ain't nothing there but debt, and more debt. The Isles of Umbra? What interest have you in that God-forsaken place? Ever since we were forced to abandon Pharaoh Sirius, the Isles have become not more than a graveyard for ships unable to navigate the shores. and a purgatory for the souls dragged down to the depths with him. Ah, Enio, you have returned. Tell me of your findings. Really? Infested with the undead, you say? That is a very, very interesting development. Excuse me for a moment while I gather my thoughts. Worry not, my friend. I've given your findings some thought, and I've concluded that this talk of spirits is not more than local folklore. As for why that all the travel to the Isles of Umbar is restricted, well, mayhap it's considered too dangerous, owing to the abandonment of Ferris Sirius. Yes, well, anyway, while you were questioning those yellow jackets, I paid a visit to the local pub, since even an esteemed scholar like myself enjoys telling her wits on occasion. It was there that I heard tell of a man named Skyfriend, who was recently detained after returning from, wait for it, the Isles of Umbra. This is the first I've heard of someone actually traveling to and from there, so I'm curious as to how he obtained permission. Mind having a chat with him in my stead? He was arrested, after all, so I'm somewhat reticent to approach him myself. I have to go back. She calls to me, sings to me. Tell me, Midua, I'm sorry. Give him this. He was right. Or you could release me. Yes, release me. I will go and tell her. Let me go to her. What did Skyfriend have to say? That's not terribly helpful. I couldn't care less much how he misses his favorite bar wench. But what was that about a man named Mimidoa? Wait, I know that name. That's that bastard who grabbed my arse the other day at the pub. Well, if you want to give him that feather, be my guest. I'm not going anywhere near him and his wandering hands. Northern inch yet, are ye? No? Then what are ye? Speak up, son. I can't hear ye. Bugger me. Is this what I think it is? Nah, couldn't be. You found this, you say. Where you say you found it? Skyfriend, you say. Was hoping to have a word with the lad, but it sounds like there's not left twixt his ears. He was supposed to help patch up Barrow Sirius, he was. Company sent me to supervise the lot of them. We aren't getting work done on their own. See, half of them walked off, half of them ran off, half of them up and vanished. What's that? You've been looking for a passage to the Isles of Umbra? Why didn't you say so? I've been thinking of dispatching someone to take a look on behalf of old Mimidoa. Tell him how the land lies. Ain't nobody been interested till you came a-calling. Whole port's up in arms about spirits and so forth. If I had the gill, I'd hire some sellswords and let them sort it out. But you'll do in a pinch, ye will. Show this passment to the skipper, and he'll see you there and back. So you went and had a word with Mimidoa? I hope the valuable time you saw fit to waste amounted to something. You mean that disgusting creature was Skyfriend's superior? I find that hard to believe. But this rite of passage does appear to be genuine, so it must be true. I must say, it is a relief to work with such an industrious man as you. I look forward to hearing of the discoveries you will make on the Isles of Umbra. Without me. Fine. I fail to see the justification for dragging me along on your journey. But if you insist, I will go as well. But 12 as my witness, if you leave me behind to be devoured by some horrid abomination, I shall come back to haunt you. Ha! Take me to the Isles of Umbra, he bids. As if it's as simple as, oh, I see you've got a rite of passage. All right then, climb aboard. This doesn't seem all that bad. I'm not saying I'd like to build a summer home here, but oh the hells with this. Here, take your pot and go on without me. You have harvested corrupted crystals before, right? So, it isn't as though you require my assistance. Speak to the man guarding the gate. I'm sure he'll let you in. Now, if you would please, excuse me. Beg your pardon, sir, but how did you come here? Access to this island is currently restricted. Okay. An old pot? I'm not sure I follow. Oh, I see. You wish to harvest a corrupted crystal? Sorry, friend, but you may have to return empty-handed. Welcome, friend. I have important news for you. In my search for the traitor, I have been looking through old records and discovered something chilling. Around the time the traitor Solgazgil was named captain, several famed soldiers of the Sultan's War met with untimely deaths. But strangely, our records do not say how they died. Curious, I begged the favor of an old friend and received permission to inspect medical records kept by Frondale's Phronistry. I discovered that the soldiers died in various ways, some in combat, some suddenly at night, in the barracks. But in nearly every case, there were signs that poison had played a role in their demise. Yes, poison. Carefully, invisibly administered. The more I read, the more I saw the dark hand of death embraces at work. Assassins in the paying service of the monetarists. A society so secretive that few believe it truly exists. But no matter how skilled and devious the assassins, they should have not been able to kill so many of the Sultan's War elite without being discovered. Not, that is, without help from within our own ranks. So I asked myself, who had the most to gain from their deaths? One by one, the former captain, his trusted aides, the most capable of the Sultan's War and who might become future commanders, all of them slain by an invisible hand. And with their deaths, the way was open for Solgazgil to become the Sultan's War's youngest captain in a century. The monetarists were plotting to kill the best and bravest of the Sultan's War, to purge its ranks of greatness and enervate it so that it could no longer carry out its duty to serve as sword and shield of the Sultanate. Which begs the question, how did Solgazgil remain captain for 30 long years? How did he avoid the poisoner's kiss when men better than him had succumbed? There can only be one explanation. He was the monetarist cat's paw, the turncloak in our midst. Needless to say, I am more determined to track him down than ever before. While I'll continue my investigation, I have a trial for you. I want you to seek the gallant armor, the legendary raiments worn by generations of the finest soldiers of the Sultan's War. In accordance with Sultan's War tradition, the set that would be yours has been scattered across southern Thailand. Each piece has been locked within a coffer, which will be guarded by 2 men. You must best the Sultan's War themselves if you are to claim their armor. One more should do it. Yeah. Perfect. Good! The armor is yours. You have learned your lessons well and honed your skills. And now you're ready to face Solgazgil, the traitor. Yes, the time has come. I have discovered his hiding place and made contact through emissaries. We are negotiating the return of Oathkeeper. Secrecy is crucial, as is preparation. We will leave only when you are ready. The recovery of Oathkeeper will be the first step in restoring the honor of the Sultan's War. I have told Solgazgil that if he returns the sword, we will give him a fair trial. Otherwise, he shall be captured and thrown at the feet of the Sultana for judgment. The parley is to take place south of Forgotten Springs in the Saguli Desert. Give me your map and I will mark the location. which I believe he is acting alone. We must be prepared for anything. You may be certain that the monitors will not take kindly to his surrender. In fact, I believe that should the monitors discover Sokigil is willing to parley, they will be surely try to intervene. Therefore, we must not speak of what we do, not to anyone. We should travel separately, so as to not to attract attention. We shall meet again at the parley. So, you dared to come. You are a brazen one, I will grant you that. But did you really think I wouldn't find out? Come, confess. My allies within the Sultan's Sworn have told me the truth. I know you are working in league with the traitor and the monitorists. Confess! With your dying breath, you will tell me where I can find Oathkeeper and the traitor who stole it. Huh? Do you dare to accuse my own Sultan Sworn of lying? We are comrades in arms, every one of us, bound in brotherhood by our oath. I would trust them with my life. What is your word when set against theirs? We know the meaning of honor. You are a naive fool. I suspected you from the beginning. Ever since you showed me the soul of the paladin that the traitor Sokigil gave you. You were, no matter how briefly, a paladin, and as such, you are bound by a code of honor that is as unforgiving as it is noble. Traitor! I sentence you to death, and decree that your body shall lie here and feed the crows. Oh, this is great. We're get outnumbered. Okay. Watch out for those aerial attacks. All right. You cannot do this. I am the greater swordsman, your superior, in every way. You are blinded, Jenlyns, by your own conviction. Jenlyns, remember your own lesson. A paladin does not exist to defend his position or the honor of his fellow Sultan Sworn. Those men were assassins in service to the monitorists. The moment you outlived your usefulness, you were to be killed. You and this free paladin of yours. Liar! You are their agent. You betrayed us for them. You were always naive, Jenlyns. Too willing to trust your fellow man. It's one of your virtues, but you have a deplorable habit of turning your virtues into vices. Think, the information you uncovered, how did you come by it? Did it fall into your lap as if, oh, I don't know, someone was feeding it to you for their own purposes? You and the paladins under your command are the monitorist lapdogs. Jenlyns, you've been led a merry dance and followed their lead at every step. Then, you were never a traitor. You were innocent. I have wronged you. Easy now. Your wounds aren't mortal. but you still need to rest. I'll take care of the captain. He's had worse, and we'll have him back on his feet soon enough. You have become a fine warrior and learned all there is to know about the way of the paladin. I think perhaps that you are not aware just how much you have grown. Well, this time you were made aware, paladin. When the captain's recovered, keep an eye on him for me, will you? He needs someone like you to watch his back. Paladin, I have done you a great wrong. I allowed myself to be hoodwinked, accused you of treason, and even turned my sword against you. I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me. As for me, yes, I am recovered from my wounds, at least those that will heal. But far more important than that, Sokogil is innocent, after all. He was never a traitor, and the dream that I followed in my youth was not a lie. Here I remain captain of the elite. Although a poor substitute of my predecessor, I am now working on a plan to strike back at the Monetrists and restore the Sultan Sworn to its former strength. No, do not be afraid of me. We've unmasked the foe, and he cannot hide behind his deceptions anymore. The assassins won't find it easy to reach me. For now, I will bide my time, marshal my strength, and when the time is ripe, strike hard at our enemies. The Ripmaster Mimidua may grant you access to the island, but only authorized personnel may proceed past this point. Why, you ask? Look up and see for yourself. When that giant mass of crystal struck the lighthouse, it caused severe damage to both the structure and the machinery within that once powered the beacon. Aye, contrary to what the small folk would have you believe, the fires of Pharisee were not the product of a mage's thaumaturgy or a colossal arcane bomb, but an elaborate contraption fueled by ethereal energy. Repairs are still ongoing, but it's anyone's guess when they'll be complete. What's worse, all work has ceased since rumors of the Walking Dead drove off our entire crew. Now that those rumors are incorrect, I've observed the fiends from a distance at the shaped graveyard to the south. What's drawn them to our shores is still a mystery, though. I'll make you a deal, Enio. Help me unravel this mystery, and I'll bring you your corrupted crystal. In fact, I shall begin searching for one that satisfies your requirements. As for where to begin your inquiries into the situation, it so happens that a party of 3 adventurers came ashore not long ago, seeking to scavenge valuable trinkets at the ship graveyard. I'd be surprised if they knew nothing of the undead infestation, so it might behoove you to question them. It's all there for the taking. 5 bleeding years worth of wrecks and their cargo. But those queer dead things and that voice. Actually, the voice was quite nice. You saw him too, right? Dead people. Just shambling about, without a care in the world. Except when they do seem to care, that is, and start shuffling toward the water. Gods, that voice. That single fleeting verse. I can still hear it. Stay clear of the southern shore, friend. It took every ounce of my strength to resist. This talk of an alluring voice is disturbingly familiar. As if... Well, that's impossible. They're all dead, aren't they? But if they have returned, that would mean... Oh, beg your pardon, I was just, thinking about something. Which reminds me, I received word that Master Mimidua would be arriving any moment. Apparently he grew tired of waiting for the lanky young lad with the 1,000-yam stare to return, which I am assuming is you. I don't know what sort of arrangement you had, but you should probably go and explain yourself. What's been keeping ye, Nishit? I ain't getting any younger, you know. Eh? Some honey-voiced harlot's been calling out to folk what wander near the ship graveyard, and it stirred up the dead and all. Bloody hells, this takes me back to the big days as a cannon boy, sailing under old Mistbeard. But they wouldn't dare, would they? Not after the lesson we learned them last time. Bah, they bloody would. Though, wouldn't they? Brazen old biddies. Some folks say that's the first purge would be the last, but I knew deep down in me bones as this day would come. And come it has. I'd bet me bum me ear as Siren's behind all this. Nay, not one's o' the Sungun variety, initiate. I speak of the other kind. Them what's got feathers and lure sailors to a watery grave with their sweet, sweet song. Ooh, but it don't end there. No, drowning's just the start. See, even in death, a man stays bound to the beast, forced to do her bidding till his corpse can't do it no more. This a fate I wouldn't wish on me worst enemy, except maybe in drink, and I'd regret it after. Any road, it's up to us to stop this hell's-born hussy afore she takes another soul. Course, we can't send ye marching off to war without these. The Siren don't have no power over a man as can't hear her song. It's lucky for ye I carry a spare pair, and lucky for the both of us I am a superstitious old sod, eh? Well, she ain't coming to us, so we best head out to her. To the shipyard, initiate. To the ship graveyard, initiate. If she passes near the shore, she's sure to spy the campfire and come looking. Just a matter of waiting now. I'm beginning to wonder if some sly bugger ain't spun us a yarn here. Quiet! You hear that? It's her. Look! Out of the water! She's come, initiate! She's come! Quick, lad! Shove them plugs in your ears and get ready for a fight. Soon as she realizes you're deaf to her ditties, she'll call on the thralls, and we'll be up to our necks in corpses after you knew it. Here we go. Hither, embrace, mine everything, all. True love spurned, his cruelty's reward. Alright. Cast out, calls out souls, lead to desire. Gotcha. Spare, mournful mistress, distress. Phlegmatize, whatever that means. Okay, reprisal. Melody, last breath of death, the rhythm, thus do not to relent, regret, forever alone. My love, a river, one look, shoal shriver. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's go after this loadsman first. There we go. No more. Dark. Eclipse the heart. That's it? Okay. Okay. Hey? I'm alright. Ha! I'm better than that, initiate. Happy as a sailor in a whorehouse, I am. Of course, I'd be happy as a sailor with 2 Watsits if we'd gutted the songstress. But you can't have everything, can ye? She'll not come crooning around here again. Though, not for a while, any road. And if she does, well, we know what to do, don't we? Thanks for the help. Bugger me. I've clean forgot your name. Remind me, Enio? Don't recall having no initiate by that name. But if you're not me old mate, what's name? Why you been so bloody helpful? Never mind. Be seeing ye, lad. You mean it was a siren? But how were you able to resist her song? I see. I heard that Master Mimidio was involved in the first purge, but I never actually... Having survived an ordeal like that, I can't blame him for carrying earplugs around with him. Anyway, I have something for you. The corrupted crystal you wanted, safely sealed within the pot, just as you requested. Please, take it with my compliments. Oh, it's you! Welcome back, Enio. You're looking remarkably hale, I must say. And, more importantly, alive. You are alive, aren't you? Aha! The conquering hero returns bearing a gift. Might I have a closer look? Impressive. Very impressive indeed. Yes, I think you'll be quite pleased with this specimen. Congratulations, Enio. Seldom, if ever, have I encountered a corrupted crystal composed of such a volatile overabundance of far-aspected aether. What? You wanted a corrupted crystal composed of ice-aspected aether to counteract the effects of a raging wind? Well, this specimen won't help you there. Anyone who knows anything about the elements could tell you that. You'll just have to keep looking, I suppose. Don't fret now. I know exactly where to find a corrupted crystal comprised of ice-aspected aether. An associate of mine in Grenada has been studying the effects of one such crystal on living beings. Hey, what's with that expression? I thought you would be pleased to hear this news. This is not another wild dodo chase, I assure you. And what's even better is that this time, you didn't use that warded pot of yours to protect yourself from this crystal's energies. Hayden's findings suggest that it is quite safe. Why, you ask? Well, let's just say that it has undergone a unique process that has rendered such precautions unnecessary. Anyway, do not let me keep you. It has been a pleasure, Enio. Come back and see me sometime, alright? Greetings and salutations. Mr. Habib, I presume. Ceana informed me of your adventures in Alaport. terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Though, as Professor Lambertine is fond of saying, no action taken in the name of science is ever truly wasteful. To the matter at hand, corrupted crystals possessing the properties you seek could be found in abundance at the standing courses following the calamity. Alas, that is no longer the case, and while there is at least one suitable crystal that remains to be found within the 12's Wood, precisely where it is at any given moment is more difficult to say. Permit me to explain. You are familiar with Spriggans, yes? The furry little rascals that are wont to seek out ores and other stones? Well, one such creature with an infamously insatiable appetite has single-handedly devoured every corrupted crystal in the 12's Wood. Fortunately for you, these crystals take an eternity to digest, assuming they can even be digested. And I am reasonably confident that one still resides within his gut. It's quite fascinating, really. My theory is that this Giggity first consumed a corrupted crystal when... You couldn't care less about all this, could you? To the point, then. Giggity seldom makes his presence felt unless there is particularly fine fodder to be had. Therefore, we shall require a lure, and I have precisely the sort he will find impossible to resist. Simply place this, true heart. I shall save the story of the origin of its unusual name for another occasion, outside this brigand's lair, and wait for the opportune moment to pounce. As for the method by which you retrieve the crystal from his gut, I shall leave that to your discretion. There's the crystal bear. Come here. Ooh, that's we never seen this before. Oh, pray do not sneak up on me like that. I was engrossed in... Wait, what is that? What is that? God's awful smell. Okay. My word! That is a breathtakingly beautiful crystal. I see my supposition was not mistaken. Ugh. And I also see you weren't adverse to digging through Spriggan entrails for your prize. We owe our furry friend a debt of gratitude, you know. This thick coating of digestive juices is protecting us from the harmful effects of the crystal, just as the warded pot you once used did. Why so glum, friend? You have finally obtained the corrupted crystal you sought, one overflowing with earth-aspected aether. Calm down, I jest. It is comprised of ice-aspected aether, worry not. I suppose that joke was in poor taste, considering your previous 2 attempts were for naught. Beg your pardon, Enio. I forgot to return your crystal to you. Oh, and there was a message for you from Professor Lambertine. Something about a man named Marquise. Apparently, the professor misses the intellectual stimulation. Forgive me, I should have written it down. It occurs to me that I have yet to ask why you needed that crystal. You aren't planning anything nefarious, are you? Would reflect poorly on me and my research if it was used for evil ends. Ah, well, perhaps it's best to remain ignorant. I didn't become the professor's greatest pupil by filling my head with unnecessary information. Why do you tarry, Enio? Our work is not yet finished. We must press onward until the Harpy Queen lies broken at our feet. All repairs and modifications have been completed, Enio. Once you bring me that crystal, nothing will stand between us and Garuda. I'll need to run some tests to be sure, but this looks to be exactly what we need. Worry not, Enio. I'll see that your hard work doesn't go to waste. The Enterprise is already more than a common airship, but mark my words, soon it will become something greater, something extraordinary. This is me. This is what I was born to do. According to my tests, the device is now functioning in perfect harmony with the crystal, meaning we can leave whenever you are ready. But you must understand, tests can only tell one so much. Until we approach the Howling Eye, until we attempt to breach the barrier itself, I cannot be sure that this will work. I think it's only fair to tell you that there is a small, but statistically significant chance that the crystal could trigger a massive... Maybe it is better that remain positive. Enio, I want to thank you for reuniting me with my ship, for trusting in me to develop this plan, for everything. You've helped me to rediscover a part of myself I had forgotten. I am not the man I once was, and I do not know if I ever shall be. But I do know one thing. This feels right. My apologies for the sudden outpouring of sentiment. I would have waited until after the mission, but, well, you understand. There. She's ready. Ah, she steers. To Quertas, and an audience with the Harpy Queen Garuda. Enterprise, engage! Phew. Damn it. I once flew in this airship, and I was not alone. There were adventurers on board, adventurers like you. Okay. What do we got in our flashback? Just how long have I worn these damn goggles? Ah, yes. I fancied myself a trendsetter in my younger days. The young prodigy, admired by all, exactly like his father. Born and raised in Garlemald. It was only natural that the precocious young student should become an engineer. Had his father not done the same? Father, when did we stop seeing eye to eye? When did Meteor become your everything, and your loved ones cease to matter? You abandoned us all, but he was there for me, Father. They were there for me when you were not. Though he proved no better in the end, Gaius was just another man with an all-consuming obsession. And so I ran, left the Empire behind, and came to Eorzea, where I built the Ironworks. Ah, yes. It was then that I first donned these goggles. Yeah. Eorzea opened my eyes. It was home to so many matter of people, each with their own hopes and dreams. People worth saving. And so I fought beside them. I wanted to prove that my knowledge could serve a noble purpose. I wanted to prove that there was another way. And it all began that day when I found my new home. I had forgotten how wonderful it was. The wind in your hair, the endless sky. That light. It was you, wasn't it? It's surprising how few people know this, but all pure-blood Garleans have a third eye. Perhaps mine helped me recognize you, or perhaps it was just a lucky guess. The Enterprise was made for this, to carry Eorzea's protectors into battle. I am proud to be able to call her my own. Sid, what exactly do you remember? I'll be out, my boy. Sorry to have been such a burden. I remember everything. My name, my people, and my purpose. Everything. Come! It would be rude to keep Garuda waiting. What is it, Enio? Don't tell me you're having second thoughts at a time like this. Or do you truly wish to return to Grenadier? All our efforts, all our travails, all of it was for this. Make ready, Enio, for the end is nigh, be it hers or our own. Finally. Who dares intrude upon my sanctuary? Your insolence shall not go unpunished, landwalkers. 12 preserve. She's huge. As I live and brat. Over there, look. The Amalja and Kobold prisoners. But why would the Ixal bring them here? Wherefore come you hither, foolish mortals? Garuda, we are come to put an end to your reign of terror. Hear you this blasphemy, my children? These landwalkers would bring me low. You who are bound to crawl upon the earth should revere me, for I am the wind. Did we not take to the skies and slip your defenses? We are bound by nothing, Garuda. You think your playthings give you strength? They will not help you here, Landwalker. This is my realm, where none can challenge my supremacy. Struggle though you may, I shall slake the roots with your blood, and festoon the canopy with your entrails. Ha 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 ha! Squawk! Slay the unfeathered ones, we shall. As an offering to Garuda, they will serve. Leave the Ixal to us, Enio. We will keep them distracted while you deal with her. Do not fail, Enio. Remember, you fight for the Scions, for the Erzia. Here we go. This worm would die by mine own hand. Come then, I shall grant you that which you seek. Nice music. We almost got you, Garuda. Unless there's another phase. Okay, use the reprisal one more time. Oh, I'm stunned. I think I'm stunned. But we almost got ya. Did you do it? Did we do it? No. 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 What? How in the hells? This is my realm. You have no hope here. None. None. Did you truly believe you could defy a god, landwalkers? My power is limitless, my children legion, and they have rendered unto me a wealth of crystals. Their gifts sustain me, their fate empowers me. None save my children will escape the reckoning, mortals, and those who would use my crystals to awaken the rest shall realize the folly of their fate. Then all shall worship none but me, the one true God. Of course, worship. So long as the XIV keeps praying, she will never fall. Then let's stop them. No harm will come to you, my children. This is only the beginning, landwalkers. All who oppose me shall suffer for their defiance. Soon, the worms of the forest shall receive my judgment. The desert vermin next. Their walls of stone will not shield them from the tempest. And then I will take vengeance on the sea lice. Their wooden boats cannot outrun the wind. Tremble, mortals, for I shall visit you all in time, and all shall be mine. All mine! You, landwalker, you who dare to raise your hand against me, you shall be the first to pay for your sins, not with your debt, but with your life. You will serve me, landwalker, to your last breath. No, no! I claimed you! You should be mine! The last gem. One of the longest cutscenes in this game so far, I think. There's the last gem. I wonder what this means. This is what been waiting for since we started playing this game. What? What are you? What have you done to me? No mortals should possess such power. This is impossible. And they already left. But we did it. We get another cutscene? Why do you not tremble at my might? Why do you not beg for mercy? Why do you not die? We've done it! Is that all? Oh, Lady of the Vortex, oh mighty Garuda. Of all primals, the most terrible, I say again, is that all? Gaius? Ah, Sid, my boy. You look well for one who has forsaken kin and country. I wonder what else you will forsake before the day is done. What? What exactly did you hope to accomplish here this day? Well, I shall accomplish far more. Is that all? Is that all? Insolent mortal, I shall make you suffer. That foul stench, I see now. She has touched you. Very well. Seven hells! Does she still mean to fight? Oh, Lord of the Inferno, Almighty Ifrit, grant us succor in our hour of need. Save us, Titan, Lord of Crags. Ah, it hurts us so. The pain. The pain. What is she? 12 preserve. She cannot mean to... So guys, here we go. So you guys may have noticed the sudden jump. There was quite a bit of cutscenes that did happen here, but for some reason Restream IO was causing issues, and I lost at least 15 to 30 minutes of footage. So there was quite a bit of cutscene. So I'm gonna make the short summary for you. You can probably look up the cutscenes online here, but basically what happened was we defeated Garuda. The Empire shows up. We are in the airship. We eventually land back in Grenada or Old, I can't remember. And now we are here figuring out what our next move to rescue our crew for the Scions. So we're going to talk to this Portland character here. So here we go. Sorry for the unfortunate technical issues, guys. Ah, Enio, the man who unmasked the heretic in our midst. To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? You are an associate of Ishtola? But of course, Lord Durlamont confided to me that you were a scion of the Seventh Dawn. Costume Sentry? What interest have you all in the Imperials? They hold several of our number, whom we intend to free. Any information you can provide would be greatly appreciated. I see. That might explain our scouts' reports. They observed 4 prisoners being led into the castrum. A Huron woman, an Elysian man, and 2 Lelafels. 1 male, 1 female. It's them! It has to be! Minfilia, Orianger, Papalumo, and Tataru! If that scamp Marcel is of use to you, you may also be interested to hear about a more recent incident. Incident? An Imperial airship made an emergency landing here in Quertas not long ago. 2 men believed to be prisoners, a Roegadine and a Lalafel, were seen fleeing the craft. What did you say? A Roegadine and a Lalafel, Master Garland. Neither wore Imperial dress, and both seemed disinclined to wait for rescue. Hence our assumptions that they were prisoners. Well, I'll be damned. It's Biggs and Wedge. Trust those 2 rascals to escape. We must find them, Enio, and soon. The Imperials will not rest until are captured or killed. And if Biggs were given the choice, I fear he'd take the latter. Freeing those held in Castrum Sentry will require substantial planning and preparation. As such, it is an endeavor that will admit some slight delay. The matters of the escapees, by contrast, will not. Shortly after the prisoners vacated the airship, our scouts observed Imperial troops setting off in pursuit. It is likely only a matter of time before they catch them. If you wish to see your comrades again, you had best act now. If as had been suggested, the Garleans took our fellow Scions prisoners in a hope... let me try it again. If, as had been suggested, the Garleans took our fellow Scions prisoner in hopes of understanding the echo, it seems reasonable to assume that they will not be executed until such time as the study is complete. But Biggs and Wedge are not Scions, nor do they know aught of the Echo. As Lady Portelaine said, this may prove our only chance to rescue them. I say we seize it. Thank you, everyone. You won't regret this. Final preparations are almost complete, my lord. There stands the culmination of 5 long years of painstaking work. But all our efforts will be vindicated when the Emperor's vision becomes reality. At last, we have the power to purge this land of its false gods. We shall give the ignorant children of Eorzea the security and stability they so desperately crave, and which their spineless leaders have so palpably failed to provide. As you say, my lord, rest assured, our engineers will not rest until the weapon is fully armed and operational. Where have we heard this before? Ritalin, you depart for Castrum Occidens at midnight. You will command the Western Front in Volbrand. The Eorzeans will attempt to interfere with our plans. You will see that they do not. My lord, if this be your will, I shall carry it out to the best of my ability. I live only to serve the Empire. Yet, forgive my impudence, but it is proper to give command of half our forces to I have given you nothing, Praefectus. You have earned it. That will be all. Dismissed. Yes, my lord. My quarters. 1 hour. This will be the final boss? Who knows? My purpose here is to reconnoiter Garlean activity along Valatia's spine. Owing to this, I have the honor of being acquainted with Ishtola. Now, the report of the Imperial's airship emergency landing came to us by way of Dismal Darkhold, situated to the west. Our man, stationed at the entrance, a knight named Brizzelt, may be able to tell you more. So as to expedite your mission, I shall furnish you with a letter of introduction. I pray that you will soon be reunited with your comrades. May the Fury grant you strength. You stand before Dismal Darkhold, the subterranean fortress excavated by the greatest guardian house of the same name. None but authorized personnel may enter. A letter from Lord Portelaine? So you have come about the Imperial airship. According to our scouts, the vessel had scarce touched the ground when a pair of men, captives, by all accounts, burst forth and bolted. Imperial soldiers have since been sighted in the area, seeking to recapture them. What? The captives are like to be your friends, you say? Then let us pray that they are yet a step ahead of their pursuers. The emergency landing reportedly took place near the Arum Vale, situated south and west of here. I suggest you take your search there. Seek out a knight named Pyramons. He should be able to assist you. The Imperial airship? Aye, I saw it approach to land with mine own 2 eyes. I hastened to the landing site, arriving just in time to see the vessel take to the skies again, but not before I had deployed a detachment of troops. Gruff orders were being barked, and there was an air of consternation about them. They were prisoners aboard the airship, it seems, and they seized the opportunity to flee when the vessel was forced to land. The Garleans who were deployed formed search parties and proceeded to scour the wilderness. In order to alert our forces, I returned to my post to find evidence that someone had been here in my absence. Whoever they were, they tried the door to no avail and decided to go elsewhere. In all, I marked 2 sets of footprints, one large and one small. If you search the area, mayhap you'll be able to follow the prints to their owners. Ooh, we found Wedge. So cold. I want to go home. Heyo! Please don't eat me. I'm not nearly as sucky as I look. It's all skins and bones underneath. I swear. Yeah, it's you. Thank goodness you're here. It's been awful. The Garleans were snapping at our heels like a hungry pack of wolves. I was so hell-bent on evading them. I almost ran headlong into a monster's gaping maw twice. And when I finally found cover, it hit me how cold and hungry I was. Biggs? Biggs? He isn't here. He went off in a different direction to lure our pursuers away. It's me, Sid. Have you had any success? Yeah, I found one of them. Tracked down Wedge? That's wonderful news. Now, what of Biggs? Still looking. I see. Well, it hardly surprises me that the big fellow went off as he did. For all the tongue lashings he gives Wedge, he's always taking care of him. I've scoured the area surrounding the Darkhold, but I have nothing to show for it. At any rate, we know for a fact that Biggs headed west. With both Ida and his tail helping out, I'm sure he'll turn up soon. Now then, I'll make my way over to your position while keeping an eye out for Biggs. If memory serves, there should be an Ishgardian fortification not far to your west. Monument Tower, I believe it's called. Let us meet there. There, I hope. Was that Master Garland you spoke with? Yes. After 5 long years, thank God goodness he's alive. I'm feeling better now. Enio, let's go to Monument Tower and wait for the chief to arrive. Well met and welcome, adventurer. What brings you to this frozen corner of the realm? Oh, it would seem your companion has caught a chill. Come and warm yourself by the fire. I will bring you a hot broth. How are you feeling now, then? Stay here as long as you need. The same goes for you, friend. This plane you have had a hard journey ahead of you. You must find rest when you can. Yeah. I'm fine now, thanks to you. But I can't bear to think that Biggs is still all alone in the cold, with Garleans on his heels. He lured the enemy away for my sake, and now he's suffering for it. I hate to have to rely on you again, Enio, but do you think you could search for Biggs? I haven't the slightest notion where he might be at the moment, but maybe, just maybe, the people here have seen something. A Rogadan gentleman dressed in the same manner as your companion? I'm sorry, but they did not come by here. Let me think a moment. I would not raise your hopes unduly, but there is a cave situated a short distance to the south. We call it the Fury's Gaze, and it may be worth the while to investigate. I make this suggestion only because your friend seems like a selfless sort. Rather than drawing the enemy to this tower, mayhap he elected to pass us by. Oh, we almost had it. We almost had it. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, this guy is struggling with it. There we go. Help the fellow player. Great to help. Enio, were you able to learn anything? Not in this area? Well, that stands to reason, I suppose. Seeing as he was trying to lure the Garleans away from me. But where within this vast sea of snow ice could he be? We can't give up, Enio. We must find Biggs before he succumbs to the cold or is recaptured. There must be someone in this tower who can help us, even if it's only to tell us where else to look. Ask them for me. Ask anyone who'll listen, and hurry! Biggs' chances of survival grow slimmer by the moment. Your friend is lost in the wilderness, you say? If he's not to be found around here, or in the vicinity of the Darkhold, it is possible he made for Whitebrim. To reach it, one must travel through Dunifin Pass, the southern end of which lies to the north and east of here. While I make no guarantee that your search will bear fruit, it is surely better than worrying in idleness. I wish you luck. Oh, and one more thing. Do tread warily when climbing the stairs here. Not a moon ago, I near broke my neck when I slipped, and I took a tumble. Here we go. Yep. I think the game is just being generous that we don't die when making a fall like that. Our orders are to take you back, dead or alive. Which will it be, engineer? Why don't you come and find out, tinhead? Ah, Enio, it is well that you are here. The situation is grave. Biggs is in a bad way. We need to do something. Right now. It has the right of it. He will perish if we delay. With me. He's not alone. Kill them all. Alright, that's it. We got it. To crush your enemies achievement. my tanks. Another moment and I would have... He has been too long in the cold. We must find shelter for him. I know this place. Monument Tower, you say? Very well. Ida and I shall bear him there with all haste. Sid will be so happy to see Biggs and Wedge again. Oh, I love reunions. I cannot thank you enough, Enio. And the same goes for the rest of you. Thank you all so much. Oh, don't mention it. We are family, are we not? Well, yes. It's just. I didn't think I'd ever see him again. I owed a lot of you my life, and you saved Wedge too, Enio. I'm losing count of how many I owe you. Biggs! Wedge! Gods, it's good to see the two of you again. Chief, it's you. It's really you. In our hearts, we knew you were still alive. But to finally see you in the flesh... When Alfie now told me of the raid on the Waking Sands, I feared the worst. What happened? The enemy struck with nary a warning. We didn't stand a chance. Wedge and I were in the workshop when they came. Before we knew what was happening, the Imperials had us at gunpoint. It must have been awful. There's one thing I don't understand, though. How did the Garlands get there so fast? I mean, the Immortal Flames should have seen them coming, right? I myself have asked the same question. That day, when I returned to the carnage at the Waking Sands, I noted not a miss in horizon. Nothing at all to suggest the passage of an Imperial force. From this, I conclude that the Garlands came neither by land nor by air. Nay, they were born there by potent teleportation magics. Magics of the kind used by the Ascians. Carry on. We were bound and blindfolded and bundled into the cargo bay of a waiting airship. I can't rightly say how long we were aboard, but when the time came for us to disembark, we found ourselves in the midst of an Imperial stronghold, Castrum Sentry. Upon arrival, we were marched off into the main complex. Biggs and I were thrown into a detainment cell together, while Minfilia and the others were taken elsewhere. That was the last we heard from them. Castrum Sentry. What happened next? Well, we were held in isolation for what felt like years. Well, it was probably moons, or maybe only weeks. And then, without warning, the Imperials collected the pair of us and put us on another vessel, which we found out was bound for Garlemald, much to our dread. We knew that if we were taken back there, we weren't like to leave again. So risky though it was, we sabotaged the ship's altitude control and thereby forced an emergency landing. And in the midst of the ensuing chaos, we managed to slip our captors. The rest, as they say, is history. Ha! If I didn't know better, I call that a likely story. Sabotaging the altitude controls of an airborne vessel? That will have been Biggs' handiwork, like as not. You always were resourceful in a tight spot, my friend. Enio, thank you for returning my dear assistance to me. It would seem I owe you yet another debt of gratitude. There are still many questions in my mind, but the answers can wait. Minfilia and the others still want for rescue. Alright, you lot, Garland Ironworks is back in business. Let's go and give the Imperials what for. Hurrah! Thanks to you, Biggs and Wedge are with us again. Now we must find a way to rescue Minfilia and the others. Gods know we've kept them waiting too long already. Based on what we've learned, I believe it's safe to say they're being held at Castrum Sentry. So, let us convene at Revenant's Toll in Mordona. 'Tis a good place as any to prepare, and better than most. The road leading east, then south will get you there. When we arrive, let us seek the advice of the local adventurers. We're bound to learn a thing or two that will benefit our mission. Well met, friend. What brings you to Revenant's Toll? Did I hear you rightly? Your friends are being held captive at Castrum Sentry, and you want to rescue them? I don't mean to discourage you, but that might prove difficult. The stronghold has been on high alert of late, with armor patrols seen about the perimeter around the clock. Not even a fly could get within 100 yards of the walls undetected. If the Garleans were alerted to our coming, we cannot know that what they will do to Minfilia and the others. We must act with the greatest stealth. Aye, it has to be good old-fashioned infiltration. But with security so tight, how are we going to smuggle ourselves in? Why, I have a mind to walk through the front door. Huh? The front door? Aye, we'll disguise ourselves as Imperial troops and march right in. For this, we'll need a few sets of Imperial uniforms, a suit of Magitek armor, and impeccable timing. Heh, that's a bold strategy, but it just might work. Where we are, there is certainly no shortage of opportunities to borrow the equipment. Knowing those Imperial bastards, they won't even suspect that we savage Eorzeans would think to use their technology. Then it's settled! If you're determined to go ahead with this, I recommend you speak with Glaumund. The fellow's got a personal grudge against the Empire, and happens to know a deal about custom sentry besides. I have no doubt that he wants to be of aid. Ida and I shall go to reconnoiter Garland activity at the stronghold. It would not do if something were to befall our comrades before we had the chance to act. Come and join us when you're ready, Enio. Let's do this. Sometimes I wonder, Ida, are there ever times when you are not enthused? I am nothing if not enthused, Istola, and you're beginning to remind me of Papalumo. Looking for Glaumund, are you? Well, you've found him, whoever you are. Eh? You're looking to get inside Custom Sentry, and you need my help? Heh, something tells me we're gonna get along just fine. So, you have friends at Custom Sentry want for rescue. That Slapper knows me too well. Aye, you can count on my help. I've got a score to settle with the Imperials, and I never pass an opportunity to get back at the Horsens. But enough about me. Let's talk strategy. Rescuing folk from captivity is right delicate business. A single oversight, just one little blunder, and it's all over. You can't leave any room for uncertainty. For starters, you need to confirm beyond the shadow of a doubt that your friends here where you think they are. You don't want to risk your neck only to discover they've been moved elsewhere. But how can you find out, you ask? By following these instructions. If you approach Sentry from the east, you'll see a swampland to your left called the Tangle. Get in there, never mind all the morbals, and navigate your way to the southwestern corner. You will come upon some drainage pipes coming down from the stronghold. Don't ask me how I know, but one of them leads back up to the command tower. If you listen closely, might be as you can eavesdrop on some of the old happenings within. Once we know for certain we're your friends there, we'll move to the next stage of the operation. Now get going, and Godspeed! Oh, we got some bad guys. We got Shigoe, whatever those things are. Alright, is that it? Okay. The faint sound of conversation echoes down the pipe. What of the captive? Does she still refuse to speak? She may as well be deaf-mute. She may as well be a deaf-mute for all the information we've gotten out of her. The others aren't much better. The Elezen gets on my nerves most of all. Every time he opens his mouth, it's only to spout gibberish. I do wonder, why is the Tribunus so obsessed with this Minfilia woman? They say she possesses some mystical power, something we Garleans don't have. Mystical power? Like the kind the beastmen use? How am I supposed to bloody know? If you are so curious, why don't you ask the Tribunus yourself? As well try to tumble her. I like my head where it is. Thank you very much. Our break is over. Best we get back to our stations. The footfalls grow fainter until all is silent. It's good to see you again, Enio. I'm glad I've given to understand you have conducted some reconnaissance. Tell me, what were you able to learn? So, Minfilia and the others are indeed at Custom Sentry. Their presence thus confirmed. We may proceed with the mission. While you were afield, Sid took the liberty of devising a plan of action. Pray have the details from him. Good work, Enio. As Alphinat has already told you, we plotted out a course for the rescue. The gist of it is unchanged. We disguise ourselves as Imperial soldiers and infiltrate the stronghold. Glamont is looking into ways to procure a suit of Magitek armor. In the meantime, I need your assistance for some preparation of my own. Minfilia and the others are counting on us, Enio. Let's not keep them waiting any longer than necessary. While Glamont goes about devising his plan, we need to see to some preparation of our own. If it wouldn't do if the Imperials were to discover that they are short an armor. To prevent this from happening, I'm going to put together a makeshift communications jamming device. The explanation is like to get a bit technical, so bear with me. Imperial forces communicate at a distance via electromagnetic waves. Simply put, voices are born upon etheric lightning energy that permeates the air. Now, the hill-sized cluster of corrupted crystals to the west has been observed to amplify the self-same energy. By making use of this property, we should be able to drown out Imperial voices. To ensure that we have enough amplification, we must identify the most potent crystals among the cluster. For this, I need you to go there and use this device to take readings. I'll mark the likely places on your map. Oh, and just so you know, plasmoids are drawn to lightning energy. Don't be surprised if you run into a few. Oh, plasmoids. Last one. Yes! 4 of these crystals should suit our purpose. Though, I pray that we won't have need of their power. My thanks, Enio. Clean the wax out of your ears now, because there's something I want you to do by way of our preparation. The plan's to have you enter a custom sentry all decked out in Imperial duds. But the disguise is more than just the clothes you're wearing. You also got to act the part. At the very least, you need to know how to perform a convincing Imperial salute. First impressions are everything, as they say. I could teach you the salute myself, of course, but it's best you learn it from the experts. So get yourself near as you dare to costume sentry and watch the Imperials doing what they do. Nothing to report, sir. We have received an anonymous warning that insurgent forces are near. We must redouble our vigilance. I shall recommend that patrols be increased. So, did you manage to learn the Imperial salute? No. Best you don't demonstrate. I'm liable to fly into a rage and crack skulls. I'll just take your word for it. You have learned the emote, Imperial salute. You're called EnioHabev, yes? I have heard of your plight from my friend Glamont. As a fellow adventurer and son of Eorzea Boat, I would offer you my assistance. In order to infiltrate Custom Sentry, you and your comrades must disguise yourselves as Imperial soldiers. The question is how to go about acquiring the uniforms and helms. There are places a man might purchase them, but individuals who deal in such wares are not the sort to whom you would entrust your secrets. It would be more prudent, I believe, to procure what you need via traditional means, from the bodies of their recently deceased owners. The fortified area before Custom Sentry never lacks for Imperial patrols. It ought not take long to obtain 3 sets of gear, 1 for each member of the infiltration team. Biggs, Wedge, and yourself. When you have what you need, please return here and allow me to inspect the spoils. Were you able to obtain 3 sets of Imperial equipment? Damaged, as I had suspected. In their present condition, I fear these uniforms and helms are like to draw suspicion. They must be repaired, if only superficially. Fortunately, the blacksmith Iganolf at the Diamond Forge in Rowena's House of Splendors should be able to hammer them into shape in no time. I've already sent word ahead, and have been assured that he is expecting you. Worry not! We have already impressed upon him the need for utmost secrecy as to the nature of your mission. So you're the adventurer Malark sent, are ye? I've been waiting for ye. Now let's see what you got for me. I see. Ah, yes. I reckon I can hammer these back into shape for ye. After all, I owe your friend Sark Malark a favor or two. Took good care of old Iganolf back in the days before I fell in with old Rowena. He did. Did you know he's the son of one of the wealthiest families in the Sultanate? Wouldn't expect someone like that to end up in the life he did. But I suppose he always felt the venturer's life calling him. But here I go blabbering on when there's work to be done. Just hold your horse birds. Just hold your horse boards. Just hold your horse birds for a moment or two, and the great Iganolf will have your gear looking good as new. And there we have it. Won't do ye much good in battle, mind ye, but for what I hear, that's not your priority anyhow. Do send Sark Malark my regards, will ye? Have you had the uniforms and helms repaired? Yes! These will serve beautifully. The great Iganolf never fails to impress. The quality of these repairs would fool even a Legatus. Thus equipped, you should not have any trouble blending in amongst Imperial forces. Lest you fear that the Garlands might detect your foreignness, foreigners in fact form the greater part of the Garland invasion force in Eorzea. You see, when the Empire subjugates new territory, it assimilates the people of that land into its armed forces. In turn, these conscripted forces are sent to subjugate faraway lands. In this way, Garlemald nips rebellion in the bud and expands its territory in one fell stroke. With that, my part in your mission is done. I am full glad to have been of your assistance to your cause. Why would I, a wealthy merchant, wish to help you? I know not where you have heard such a tale, but believe me, when I say that I am but another humble adventurer, one who desires only to act in the best interests of the realm. Good work getting them Imperial duds. You'll be pleased to hear I ain't been an idol myself. Took me long enough, but I finally hatched a plan to get us a suit of Magitek armor. Now, from what I've seen, Custom Center deploys a Reaper for most of its patrols. Trouble is, the patrol themselves are irregular, meaning random routes and random deployments, and hardly any one of them come anywhere near Revenant's Toll. So, hoping to coax the Imperials out of their shells, I took the liberty of feeding him a bit of the old false intelligence. Told them insurgents had designs on their stronghold. Tain't far from the truth, now I come to think of it. Any road, we should start seeing more patrols than we have up till now. What you need to do is approach one of these patrols, dressed up in your shiny tin suit, and alert them to the enemy's presence. Having done that, you'll want to lure them as near to the Revenant's Toll as you can. Like as not, though, they'll be wary of venturing far from their own walls. If they do need a bit of extra encouragement, use this smoke signal here. Filched fresh from an Imperial scout. They'll come running when they see that. And when the cavalry arrives, you hit them hard and make off with their Reaper. Simple as that. If I ain't mistaken, there's a patrol sweeping the perimeter right now. So run along, eh? Oh, and don't forget to salute. From another patrol, are you? When next you see your commanding officer, tell him that he leads a sloppy unit. If any of my lot forgot to salute a superior officer, they would be on their arse faster than any can say, let her trying duty. Carry on, soldier. Insurgents gathering to the east, you say? Judging by your description, they are well beyond the perimeter. But I will not have it said that I was remiss. You, return to the scene and keep an eye on those insurgents. Should Garuda use your smoke signal to call us. I hope you don't mind my joining. Seeing as we're seizing advanced weaponry, you thought it best to be on hand. Ah, there she is. This is the place, but where is the enemy? Sir! Over there! Send in the Reaper! Let us make an example of these insurgents! Alright, we almost got it. That was not as bad as I thought it would be. That's not as bad. At last, our very own suit of Magitek armor. Not wishing to look a gift chocobo in the beak, but it does seem rather the worse for wear, doesn't it? Biggs, Wedge, what's your honest assessment? Well, there's the fact that she's smoking, of course. But looking past that, I'd say she was structurally sound. I don't like the way these legs are buckled. I hate to say this, but the servo mechanism may be damaged. Eh? But aren't those things protected by Elmtic armor plate? They are, yes. It's odd. The casing doesn't seem to have taken a blow. I suspect we're dealing with a faulty part. Well, whatever. Whatever it is we're dealing with, we're not resting till it's fixed. Not one wink of sleep. You got that, Wedge? Oh, card chocobo. I heard that! A hall has been set aside for our use in Revenant's Toll. That's where we'll carry out the repairs. Look for us there, Enio. So cool. So cool. The Magitek armor? Sid and the others took it inside. Go on in and join them. We have now had the time to take a closer look at the Reaper. Our preliminary diagnosis was correct. She's structurally sound, but her servo mechanism is faulty. You need worry though. Biggs and Wedge will see her restored to her former glory in no time at all. Give those two something to mend, and they will think of naught else till the job's done. It's a marvelous thing to behold, provided you remind them to visit the privy. The repairs are proceeding apace. It shouldn't be long now before Biggs and Wedge complete their work. There is, however, one small problem. As you may recall, the machine's servo mechanism was discovered to be faulty. Wedge has subsequently ascertained that the Magitek core which drives it is worn beyond use. Such cores are rather fragile devices, which must be replaced at regular intervals. Thanks to the negligence of our Imperial colleagues, however, the one used in this Reaper was long overdue. Alas! We do not have access to a ready replacement here in Mordona. But all is not lost. Wedge thinks he may have identified an alternative solution. Go and see him, would you? He'll explain the details to you. As I believe the chief has already informed you, the Magitek core is worn beyond use. We need to find a replacement. I thought about having you appropriate more Reapers, but even if the dunderhead maintenance engineers of Custom Sentry had remembered to replace their cores, we would risk arousing Imperial suspicion. But do not despair, for I believe there is a solution to substitute the Magitek core with a Mammoth Heart. In case you don't know, a Mammoth Heart can be used to grant sentience to an automaton. By my reckoning, such a device should be more than capable of regulating the armor's servo mechanism. We'll just need to make some minor modifications to the housing unit. I've already placed an order for a first-rate Mammoth Heart with the Goldsmiths Guild. All that remains is for someone to go to Ulda and collect it. Oh, and to pay for it. Ahem. Did I mention how much they cost? No? Well, they typically cost something in the order of... I hope you don't mind footing the bill. It's for a good cause. Hello there. Can't to collect a Mammoth Heart, you say? Then you must be here on behalf of Garland Iron Works. I've taken the liberty of picking the finest example we have. A heart fit for a prince among mammoths. Payment? Oh, that won't be necessary. The heart is for Master Alpinaud's personal use, after all. He notified us a short while ago that his manservant would be coming to collect it. Tender in years though he may be, Master Alpinaud has been a benefactor of ours since my predecessor's time. The Goldsmiths Guild wouldn't dream of charging him. But here is the Mammoth Heart. May it serve you well. Oh, and please do pass on my compliments to your master. Want to go in? It hardly needs saying, but try not to be seen. Do you have the Mammoth Heart? I can't wait to see if it works. Hurrah! Thank you so much. But this is magnificent. It must have cost an emperor's ransom. Free of charge, courtesy of Alpinaud. Coming from an influential family certainly has its advantages. But without further ado, let's give it a try. I've already modified the housing unit, so it should slot right in. There! She's ready! Magitek armor, engage! Or not. She just needs a loving tap, I'll wager. Yeah! Yes! She's alive! Let's take her outside and put her through her paces. Enio, would you care to do the honors? Hop into the pilot seat. We'll begin as soon as you're ready. First, I'd like you to try climbing that tangle of crystals yonder, as far as we can go, if you please. Oh, and if for some reason you need to dismount, simply come back here and we'll start again. No anomalous movements evident from either leg. Good. Next, jump back down and then sprint north, quick as you can. Leg joints absorbing all impact without incident. Excellent. Please make your way back, Minio. The torso remains stable during vigorous motion. Excellent. And that concludes our test. Thank you for your cooperation. Here's a summary of my findings. The drivetrain is in sound condition. With some fine-tuning, we can expect a noticeable improvement in performance. As for the servo mechanism, I'm afraid it's not nearly as responsive as it should be. And I'm at a loss to explain why. The Mammoth Heart is in pristine condition and should be installed correctly. Perhaps its inner workings are simply too different to operate harmoniously with the armor's other mechanisms? Whereas Magitek cores serve only to conduct impulses, mammoth hearts enable automata to process the information collected by their sensors as feelings. Maybe she just doesn't feel like part of the team. In which case, we should do all our best to make her feel welcome. Click. Daft as it felt, I gave it my best. I welcomed myself to a bloody standstill. What were you expecting to do? What were you expecting it to do anyway? Almost a curtsy? No doubt you're wondering why the servo mechanism is so important as to warrant this silliness. Without it, the pilot would be required to control the armor's every movement manually. This would be an onerous task at the best of times, and wholly impractical during battle. Using a mammoth heart in place of the worn Magitek core seemed a promising solution. Alas, the device does not appear to be compatible with Garlean technology. Wedge, are there no other ways we might demonstrate our appreciation to our friend here? I'm at my wit's end, Chief. She just doesn't seem convinced. We could try a little dance, perhaps? Or cheer our heads off? Imperials! They've come for the armor! Damn it! They have us cornered. There's the Reaper. Taken by the traitor Garland, and is that the Icon Slayer? Oh, bollocks. Call for reinforcements. The hells you will. We've located the stolen Reaper, requesting immediate assistance. Respond! Respond! It's no use, sir. There's some sort of interference. Curse you, Garland! No matter. If we can't reclaim it, destroy it. Bloody hells. Enio, protect the armor at all costs. Here we go, let's do it. Oh no, she's taking damage. Ah, we're good, we're good. There we go. Just like that. Yeah. Chief, look! She moved! Ah, now she deigns to grace us with her presence. It took us a good while, but we're finally ready. It's time to infiltrate Custom Sentry and rescue our comrades. There, the finishing touch. Yeah, yeah. The servo mechanism is now fully functional, and all it took was a simple fight to the death. Remind me not to install a Mammoth Heart aboard the Enterprise, would you? Much as I love her, I would rather not be required to profess it before boarding. But enough of that. Let us see to our final preparations. Thanks to Biggs and Wedge, the Reaper is as good as new. We are as prepared as we are like to get. How go your preparations, Enio? We leave as soon as you're ready. Glaumont, you came. I thought I'd give you all a roaring send-off. That's the least I can do for the fine men and women we're about to make my lifelong wish come true. Well, we'll do our best. It occurs to me, for all the help you've afforded us, we know little unless about you. What did the Empire do to earn your ire? But I fear I put curiosity before consideration. I quite understand if you'd rather not relive those memories. No, I don't mind really. Truth be told, a part of me was itching to tell you my tale. Mind you, this hardly novel. I ain't the first to suffer at Imperial hands. Like most folk, I used to have a mother. She was a sweet, caring woman, with a smile never far from her face. But there was a sister too. Pretty little thing. She was gentle as a lamb, but tough as nails. We were poor folk living simple lives, but we knew happiness just the same. And then the Imperials came and took it all away. When Alamigo fell, they put my family in a camp. Being a lad, I was made to do hard labor, while my mother and sister were forced to do far worse. They hid their suffering from me as best as they could, but I knew, and the thought of it drove me mad. We had to escape, and so I hatched a plan to get us out of the city. We were picking our way around a gorge not far outside the walls when they caught up with us. And rather than allow themselves to be taken again, my mother and sister leaped over the edge before my very eyes. Heartbroken as I was, I didn't put up a fight with the Imperials clapping me in chains and dragged me back. 'Twas some years after I escaped again, and that time I got away. I swore then that I'd get revenge on the Empire, and became an adventurer so as to hone my skills and earn the coin I needed. But nigh on 2 decades since gone by, and what have I achieved? Bugger all. That's what. Not like you lot. You ain't been here 10 minutes, and you've already done more I managed in 10 bloody years. You give us too much credit, Glaumont. We seek only to rescue our friends. Well, what's more important than that? In any road, after you got your friends back, you're planning on going after the Empire. Don't pretend you ain't. I've helped a few folk take on the Imperials over the years, and every time I have, it's helped stave off my appetite for revenge. But someone tells me I won't be going hungry for a while with everything you've got planned. And you are sure that they'll satisfy you. If you wish to strike back at the Empire with your own hand, you need only say the word. We'll be glad to have you with us. Tempting though your offer is, I'm afeared I must decline. I swore I'd get revenge on the Empire. It's true. But I've long since realized that the front lines are no place for a man like me. Aye, there's some as would call me craven, but I prefer to think of myself as a realist. My talents lie in scheming, you see. No, not swordplay. Helping folk like you is how I can make the most difference. But that's quite enough storytelling for one day. Best not keep your friends waiting any longer. I'll be praying for your safety and success. May Ragal give you strength. Yeah. Wherever the Empire goes, misery invariably follows in its wake. For the sake of all who call Eorzea home, we must put an end to Gaius' ambitions. But first, we have friends to rescue. Biggs, Wedge, and I will lie in wait east of Castrum Sentry, just outside the Stronghold's patrol perimeter. Join us when you're ready. Oh, and don't forget to wear your disguise, or this will be the shortest rescue mission in history. Forgive me for saying so, but you caught quite a dashing figure in Imperial Black and Crimson. Ah, but now is not the time for jests. Let's review the infiltration plan. Castrum Sentry lies just beyond. A short while ago, an Imperial patrol left to do its rounds. Alphinaud and I will create a diversion out here and keep it occupied for as long as we are able. Meanwhile, the three of you will enter the stronghold, posing as the patrol returning from duty. Should Alphinaud and I prove less distracting than hoped, I will contact you via Link Pearl. Be ready to beat a hasty retreat. Oh, that's so cool. Wedge will lead the way in the Reaper. Stay close to him. And I hardly need to tell you this, but don't do anything suspicious. Oh, and lest you wonder, Ida and Ishtoel left shortly before you arrived. We had planned that they should linger in the vicinity to cover our retreat in the event that Alphinaud and I attracted too much attention. But the approach of an Imperial vehicle forced us to improvise. Don't be too disappointed. They did at least leave a message for you. Something along the lines of, don't do anything reckless, if memory serves. Wise words. Alright, the Imperial Patrol should be returning any moment now. You'd best be off. Good luck, Enio. May the 12 keep you. You have spirit that I will allow, yet you struggle to the benefit of none, least of all yourself. This echo of yours intrigues us. We desire only to understand it, and for that, we need your help. You wish to be rid of the Icons, do you not? You would have saved yourself a great deal of torment had you accepted our aid from the beginning. Ow. Tell me everything, and I shall end it quickly. Refuse, and do you beg for death, and you shall not have it. Which will it be? As you wish, my dear Minfilia. Unpleasant though it will be for all concerned, you leave us no choice but to employ more rigorous methods of study. Be so kind as to deliver the prisoners to Castrum Meridianum. Yes, my lady. Oh, my apologies. I didn't notice you there. So engrossed was I in my task. You'll be engrossed too. Had the Tribunus commanded you to arrange for the prisoners to be transported. What prisoners did I speak of? You mean you haven't heard? Only the infamous Science of the Seventh Dawn, captured by the Tribunus herself. If you don't believe me, have a look in the storage tower when next you pass that way. Part of the maintenance crew from Occidents, are you? I don't know what they teach you over there, but being an engineer does not exempt you from saluting your superiors. That's a fine salute. Part of the maintenance crew from Occidents, are you? Welcome to Castrum Sentry, engineer. What? Prisoners? Ah, you've heard the rumors, then. Yes, they're being held in the storage tower, but I strongly suggest you pay them no mind. You were summoned here to work, not to go up at Eorzea's defeated heroes. Now show a bit of enthusiasm, or I'll have you reported. Shouldn't I be at my post? I suppose so, but such things don't seem to matter anymore. I've fallen for one of the prisoners. She's all I can think about of late. Am I a deviant for wanting her to salute me? Greetings, comrade. Forgive me for asking, but you haven't visited the storage tower recently, have you? I only asked because I dropped something in there, and oh, who am I fooling? I've fallen for one of the prisoners, alright? I dare say you know the one I mean. Eh? The svelte blonde? Goodness, no! It's the Lullafellian lass I'm smitten with. She's so adorable, it hurts. I want to sweep her up into my arms and squeeze her till my arms ache. What do you reckon it would take to convince the Centurion to lend me the key so I can see her? What's this? You need access to the storage tower? What business have you there? At the Tribune's behest, you say? This is highly irregular, but it would not do to make my lady rote. Take my identification key. See that it is returned when your errand is concluded. Security is tight, just as we expected. We're going to need a special key if you want to get past this bulkhead. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like their expressions. No. Minfilia and the rest. Thank goodness they're safe. Hey, Tom Dog, good to see ya. Probably not tonight, Tom. It's gonna be for tomorrow. So it's good to see you, Tom. How are you doing? So yeah, I've been busy. I was pretty busy video editing on Saturday and Friday, and I did the thumbnails on Sunday. So it's your birthday, Tom? Nice. Tom, I'm not. So again, I would like to do. I think we can do something later on, Tom. I'm not too sure if we have enough people though. So yeah, Tom, because I did mention that we will do other games on Tuesday, Tom. So I'm not too sure if anybody's going to be showing up at the last minute, Tom. So I mean, I don't mind doing it today for your birthday. It's just that Pickle Park with just 2 people. I'm not too sure. Do you like to do it tomorrow instead, Tom, or you still want to try it later? Because I'm still going through this game here, Tom. What do you think, Tom? What do you think? Oh, you can do it tomorrow? All right, yeah. So, like I said, we're going to do Just Chatting first, and then we're going to do other games, whatever time we have. So, I'm going to be starting it around the same time like we did today. So, that's the day we can cover many other games. So, yeah. And maybe we will finish Pico Park, who knows? So... But yeah, Tom, I've been having a fun time with this game. Unfortunately, I lost maybe 15-20 minutes of footage, though, because apparently Restream.io is not very reliable, apparently. Because I got dropped frames for no reason. So instead, I just broadcast to Twitch directly now. So if I broadcast to YouTube, it'll be broadcast to YouTube directly, no Restream. Yeah, for some reason, Restream.io is not always stable. So, yeah. I had to change that today. Learned a couple of things from that issue. So, anyway, let's continue. So, Tom, I'm not sure if you are interested in a Final Fantasy game, but you will like this for the story. So, I'm basically going through the cutscenes and dubbing them over. Should be an interesting experience. I mean, we're going to do some gameplay here. So, I'm almost level 50 here. So, here we go. I am the one you want. Leave the others be. If you harm my friends, I swear I shall take my own life, and you shall answer to your mistress. Heh. The Taru, I think. Oh, cute character. Tataru, we must do something. We risk letting the entire Crastrum know we're here. Aye, you're right. We may not get a better chance. This is a third squadron. What is it? The Reaper seized when? And this came to light only now? The culprits will have left a trail. Take as many men as you need and scour the area. I want that Reaper found. Now's our chance. What the? Strike my last. Eliminate the intruders. Time for battle. So this kind of reminds me of the Krogan battle from Mass Effect. You're gonna have to retry over and over again. Nope, we're doing normal. It's too bad we can't change armor during combat. I already tried that earlier. Iron Will is already on. Okay, let's focus on this one character in particular. Let's focus on this one character in particular. Let's focus on this one character, the cohort. This is going to be our most important threat to take care of first. Okay. Yeah, this cohort is the biggest threat in the room. Yeah, the cohort signifier was the biggest threat we had to eliminate first. Okay, let's get rid of this cohort next. Now it takes us down to one cohort now. Shield bash. Now that went a whole lot better this time. Wedge is already at half health. Oh, we got this. We almost got this guy. What another shield bash. Yeah, you have to use strategy just to defeat these guys. But thankfully we did it. And we did it in normal difficulty. Alright, one more. We almost got him. It's a good thing that guy's focusing on Wedge and not me. There we go, we did it. Hopefully there's no more. Just like that. Anywho, I was so scared. I want to do a head pat on that. If I was there right now, I would do a head pat on Totaro. Adorable. It was foolish of you to come here. You might have been killed. But, thank you. I shudder to think what might have happened had you not arrived when you did. I say, did you not see Tancred anywhere? I'm beginning to fear for the fellow. No. To linger here shall yield us no answer. Let us away, ere the window to our liberty closes shut. What did you say? Escaped? Then recapture them. Fail and I shall have your head. And what have we here? The Tribunus herself, just as you said. You have the eye of an Ahriman, Ida. Well, she's kind of hard to miss in that showy armor of hers. Accursed scions! How did you slip our defenses? With unexpected ease, if truth be told. There chanced to be a commotion outside the castrum's walls, which allowed us to avail ourselves of the comforts of your vehicle. Estella's just being polite. That was one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever stowed away in. No wonder it's called the Phantom Train. No passenger would be seen dead on it. So you scuttled in amidst the freight, like the vermin you are. I shall be sure to have words with our rat catcher. Such negligence is unforgivable. That is far from your most pressing concern. First, you must answer for your own wrongdoing, Livius Junius. 'Twas you who led the raid on the Waking Sands. You who butchered unarmed men and women for the crime of being unworthy of capture. You killed our friends. We'll never forgive you. Nor shall we suffer you to plague Erzani a day longer. Betake you to your guard. More intruders! Protect the Tribunus! Confound it! Ida, with me! After them! Where is His Excellency? In the hangar, my lady. In discussion with our guest. Alert him at once. Yes, my lady. No. No, no, no! There they are! Fan out and surround them! Must protect Totaru. Biggs, I'm going in. See everyone to safety. No! Wedge, don't do it! Oh no. Enio, hold them off! I'll look after Minfilia and Totaru. Next wave. Here we go. That thing is invulnerable. What do we do? Oh yeah, there it is. There's always something we need to kill. Yep. We almost got it. Yeah, we did it. Is there more? Yeah, we did it. That first phase I kind of struggled a little bit, but then I learned what to do. And remember, actually I learned and remember what to do. Yeah, we did it. It just looks like Big sacrificed himself, or Wedge sacrificed himself. From the looks of it, oh boy. Take the leader, kill the rest. Wow. Istola! Pray forgive us our delay. Wow. Papalimo! Minfilia! Ida! What took you so long? Well, it's nice to see you too. The reunion must wait. Right, first things first. Yes, let's get back to being heavily outnumbered. You ditched your Magitek armor? Fool of a Lalafell! Well, excuse me. She's all yours if you think you can do any better. This is Sid. Can you hear me? I need you to count to 5, then jump. Understood? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we left that thing behind. I know not which is more pitiful, the charlatans who rule Eorzea, or the masses that clamor for their implausible panacea. I see that which they cannot. This realm founders for want of a ruler with true power. The power to cast down icons. If you continue to deny this truth, it is the people who will suffer. Embrace reason. What in the seven's hells? Oh no, it's here! 12 preserve us. They finished it. Ultimate weapon. So it has a name. It is a relic of ancient Alag, excavated from its resting place deep beneath Alamigo. The Alagans used it to crush primal and foe alike, and now the Garleans mean to do the same. Damn you, Gaius! Look, there, beside the Black Wolf. An Ashan. An overlord, no less. His garb attests to that. La Habrea, you could only be him. Oh, a traitor. Thankard was a traitor. So he knows all our secrets. He was La Habrea? No. No, this cannot be! We have to go now. Hang on. Tancred. No. So we got a traitor. Honestly, I didn't see that coming. That explains why they were able to get there that easily. It kind of makes sense. The attack on the headquarters, knowing exactly what they were coming up against, it was an inside job after all. It kind of makes sense. All that time, the enemy was beside me, and I never even suspected. And to think that it was I who suggested that Tancred investigate the Ascians. How could I have been so blind? Small wonder the enemy knew our every move, and where to find us. Confound it all! No, this is not the time for self-doubt. The Alliance leaders staked their hopes on the Scions, but now they believe us all dead or missing. When they learn of the Empire's new weapon, we cannot be certain what they will do. We must go and offer them what assurances we can that defeat is not inevitable. The situation may have taken an ill turn, but the battle is far from over, and so long as we stand together, there shall ever be hope of victory. The people of Eorzea falter for want of such hope. Let us provide it. Let us bear to them the tidings that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn are returned. Matters are coming to a head. I hope we can count on you. My regards to Grandfather. I am ready. Let us pay a visit to the Council of the Alliance leadership. Hells take the Black Wolf and his new toy. Rally all available forces. I want them ready to move upon my word. And relay to let me try it again. And relay to Slafferson. Let me try it again. And relay to Slafferson the order to sail. That is all. The Maelstrom stands ready. What of the flames? Ready as we're like to be. I need only to give the word to rail. Has there been no word from Ishgard? None. The dragons have got their tongues. Silent to the last. I was unwise to hope for better. What would steer the Archbishop to open his holy mouth, if not this? And he claims the fury for his god? This bad comedy. The Holy See has made its choice. We will proceed without its cooperation. I believe we are all acquainted with the terms of the Black Wolf's ultimatum. We must agree upon a course of action, not less than the fate of Eorzea hangs upon the decision of this council. Then Balzar claims to wield the power to smite primals. Should we yield to him, he pledges to rid the realm of its false gods, yet offer resistance, and he swears that we shall share the primal's fate. Pardon me by bluntness, but I like not these choices. This is too great a decision for any one of our nations to make alone. Choose we surrender, or resistance. We must answer as one, for if but one surrenders, the rest shall surely fall. Let us pray for the wisdom to do right by all our peoples. That was a long cutscene. So, we got ourselves a trader that was with us from almost the very beginning of the game. Interesting. It's too bad that machine had to be left behind. Thancred's plight troubles us all. Yet we cannot allow anything to come between us and our goal. So long as the ultimate weapon exists, Eorzea will never know peace. Let us go to the Alliance leaders, Enio, and help them to make the right decision. Grim tidings, Enio. It seems that word of the ultimate weapon's existence has already reached the Alliance leaders in the form of an ultimatum. They have gathered in the fragrant chamber and are deliberating their answer even as we speak. Beleaguered as they are, I fear they may well elect to lay down their arms in the belief that surrender will spare their people untold suffering. Yet nothing could be further from the truth. That which the Black Wolf offers will doom Eorzea, not deliver it. And the leaders must be made aware of this. Let us hurry to them, Enio, and ensure that they do not act in ignorance of the consequences. The Council of the Alliance leaders is presently in progress in the Fragrant Chamber. I must ask that you step away from the door, sir. I'm sorry, you're here on behalf of the Signs of the Seventh Dawn? 1,000 pardons, my lord. Of course you may enter. Bah, we keep treading the same ground. Von Balzar's demands are clear. Alas, our minds are not. I have never been one to shy from a fight, but if this weapon of theirs can do all they claim... It has been 5 years since the calamity, and our people have scarce begun to rebuild their lives. Can we now, in good conscience, call upon them to risk what little they have left? I would spare them the pain of further conflict. Conflict, I say, though that would imply forces set in opposition. If the combined might of 3 primals could not stay Garlemald's new terror, what meaningful resistance can we offer? We who struggle to quell the foes who rise up within our own borders. Long have we fought the primals, but to what end? We strike them down at no small cost, only for them to rise again and again. Are we to play this profitless game for the rest of days? I, for one, grow tired of it. Mistake me not. I do not promise to trade one tyranny for another. I love liberty, but conciliation need not mean oppression. By the 12, though neither of you cried surrender, your every word betokened it. Not that I deny there is truth in what you say, nor can I rightly claim that Ul'dah is ready to fight. Refugees flood our gates, and beastmen swarm our land. While the great and the good do nothing, my flames struggle to bear the burden. I put on a grand show at the Remembrance Service, made all manner of lofty promises. I made good on not a bloody one. Do not blame yourself, Rauban. You said only that which the people needed to hear. All present have done the same. Our citizens have become lost to hope. If our words serve to kindle it in them anew, better we speak than remain silent. Our enemy condemns us for failing our people, yet what does he care for their well-being? While we labored to rebuild their lives, the Black Wolf built instruments of murder with which to end them. Her Majesty speaks true. For all our failings, the people's well-being has ever been our foremost priority. While none among us ever doubted that the Empire would one day resume its war, we scarcely had means enough to solve the problems of the present. Aye, which is why we look to others to safeguard our future, the signs of the Seventh Dawn. Alas, they are gone, and the Black Wolf is at our door. Admiral, I fear you are mistaken. Alphinaud, Minfilia, and Seven Hells, Master Garland! And you, dear friend. By Regal, you're alive! All of you! As we approached, I would swear heard talk of surrender, but I know that it cannot be. It is not the Eorzean way. Hear me, my friends. Accepting the Garlean's offer to vanquish the Primals would be a folly. Folly, I say, for might is not the answer to the primal threat. Indeed, the more the Empire exerts its strength, the worse matters will become. Primals enter this world when mortals call upon them, and mortals are wont to appeal to a higher power when they are desperate. Nothing is more certain to breed desperation in the beast tribes than the Garlean's proposed solution. The true answer lies in lasting peace, but the Garleans only know war and conquest. Should Eorzea fall into their hands, there will be such suffering as none can imagine. We are not blind to the many challenges that each of your nations face. Yet you must not give in. Aye, remember 5 years ago when you wagered all for the sake of the realm. Remember what you fought for, what you were willing to die for. Let the memories rekindle the fire in your heart, for Eorzea has need of it again. Come what may, we Scions will never give up the fight. And so, I bid you to stand with us, and together we shall safeguard the future of the realm. A great man once said that a shrewd merchant grasps not for the quick profit, but invests in the future. Wise words, eh, Rauban? Sid, your words steer and shame me in equal measure. How could I contemplate surrender? I know full well that all we have, we owe to the sacrifices of those who went before us. Yet the seeming hopelessness of our plight robbed me of my insight. We Grenadians have no love for war. Yet we have still less for those who would threaten our homeland. Ever have we fought to protect those things we hold dear, and this shall never change. Grenadia will go to war. We will fight the Empire for the sake of the realm and all who abide here. Here, here. At long last, I hear words worthy of a founder of the Alliance. Rauban, are we to be outdone? I lost one homeland. The thought of losing another had blunted my resolve. But no man knows better than I that if you want aught, you'd best be ready to die for it. With great danger comes the chance for great glory and great profit. We, Oldens, who have turned as sand into gold, know this well. How many times have we fallen into the pit of despair, only to have you pluck us out? I've fair lost count. Reckless, the lot of you, like bloody pirates. Well, I won't waste my breath trying to talk you around. On account of being a pirate myself, and the pirate who shrinks from a challenge is no pirate at all. Those who would pick a quarrel with us must choose, back down or go down with all hands. Let the Garleans come. The united strength of Limsa Lamensa will be waiting for them. If our realm is to be free of this pile of darkness, let it be by our own hands. For Eosia! Be at ease, my friends. You have banished our doubts. Pray leave the military matters to us, and retire to the waking sands. We will send word anon. My dear sister drew her last breath here, in battle with the Empire. To her, the fight for Eorzea's future was more important than her homeland. True to her beliefs to the end, she was. No matter how dark the night, one day the dawn will break. As long as brave souls like yourself take up our cause, the Scions will never stand down. I should have done something. Done anything. But I didn't. Now Abba and Auli are... I will not let it be for nothing. I will earn this. We came away with our lives. Though our losses weigh heavy in our hearts, we must carry on for those who have fallen. As one age endeth and another doth arise, so do our struggles wax and wane. But wouldst thou ask of me? How fares the realm? Souls from either far, strangers from strange lands, yester with thine eyes, morrow by thine hands. Thou and thy fellow warriors of light have led us from the darkness of the seventh umbral era, as was writ in the divine chronicles. Yet peace is ever fleeting. When the darkness riseth resurgent, I pray thou wilt bring thy light to bear once more. We may have surmounted this latest trial, but the worst is yet to come. We must remain focused. I will not see our efforts wasted in futile regret. And as for Tancred, he and I have much to discuss. Instead of gratitude for coming to his rescue, Papaluma called me a scatterbrain. The next time he gets caught by the Empire, I'm leaving him to rot. Had I not intervened, that Garlean soldier may well have done for Ida, lowering her guard in the heat of battle as though she were on an evening stroll. How much of a scatterbrain can she be? Well, at least we cannot fault her for being inconsistent. The counteroffensive to come will require the total commitment of every allied nation, as well as the flawless coordination of all forces. I pray the Council understands this. Tataru is safe. I understand you gave our fallen brothers and sisters a proper burial. I'm sure they appreciate it. When the Empire is beaten and all of this is over, let us visit them at the church. I wonder if that's going to happen. For many years, I dedicated my life to the research and development of Magitek, unable or unwilling to see the repercussions of my work. And though I have since left Garlemald behind, its scientists continue to build upon my work. I fear that this new weapon may be another example of that. An ancient relic enhanced with technologies I created. Yet even should that be the case, it would still require a brilliant mind to... No, he didn't. She hasn't said a word to me since the rescue. Was it all for nothing? What's next on the agenda? We're ready to get to work. I cannot well express my relief to think that the Alliance came so close to surrender. But the fire in their hearts has been rekindled, and they will fight to the last. This warmth inside. Did you feel it too, grandfather? I would know something. Oh, what was that? Was that your power at work earlier? Nothing of the sort. The leaders of Eorzea had lost their way. I merely helped them to find it again. Oh, hello! Yes. Our party returned just a moment ago. How close are you? It's alright, Sid. We must needs plan our next move. Pray continue liaising with your respective nations. Sid, would you be our man in Ul'dah? I'll be whatever and wherever you need me to be. Thancred's fate weighs heavy on my mind. I cannot bear to think of him enthralled to an Ashen. Mayhap you know this already, but the Ashens are immortal beings without physical form. Since time immemorial, they have fanned the flames of chaos from the shadows. That they might work unseen, the Ashens entrap and possess mortal men by means of malign artifacts known as crystals of darkness. One such crystal may yet be the key to saving Thancred. This is a crystal of darkness? A mere replica, created using data obtained from anomalous crystals found across Eorzea. It comes to us courtesy of the students of Baldesion, our distant allies. Even for an Archon, Thancred's talents are exceptional. We all had complete confidence in him. It was for this reason that none among us foresaw the danger in sending him to investigate the Ashens alone. Thancred had been striving to fill the void left by Lozo, yet it was plain that he was overtaxing himself. Yeah, he would volunteer for everything and work till his zizzy. And the toll taken by his exertions made him vulnerable to Ashen influence. The crystal that binds Thancred must be somewhere on his person. If we could but destroy it, his Ashen possessor would be compelled to relinquish control over him. We have proven the stoutest of allies, standing with us through thick and thin. Yet the most perilous struggle is still to come. For the sake of the realm and Thancred, I ask that you lend us your strength once more. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. As I am sure you are aware, the realm was saved from certain doom 5 years ago by heroes known as the Warriors of Light. What you may not be aware of is that your many feats in service to the Scions have prompted folk to make certain comparisons. I must confess, you do remind me of them. Yet remember this, however glorious the past, it is the hero's lot to be judged in the deeds of the present. A new darkness threatens the realm, and the people cry out for a savior. I believe that you are a warrior of light, here in the present, guided by the crystal's will. Come, my friends, let us fight to safeguard the future of our beloved Eorzea. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for your time, guys. I'll see you on Wednesday for Final Fantasy, but I'll see you guys tomorrow for the other games. Thank you so much, guys. Later.